Hi, it's Sandy here, and it's time for the full moon rose reading for the 11th of April 2017. And and take a deep breath and breathe. Seems to be the constant reminder that we're being brought to now to actually navigate this next phase. My goodness me, has it been a tricky and difficult passage to get to this point. And so many of my clients and friends are just exhausted. I mean, this has been relentless in us having to try and find all the tools that we have in the tool bag to be able to navigate and find a way through this. It's one intense wave after another, as it seems. And, where do we go to keep on resourcing and finding a pathway through that keeps us stable and well-resourced in our journey through this time. So just the picture that I have is that, having signed up to be at the coalface, so to speak, to be the way showers and those that are carrying this this imprint that is a new pathway. This is uncharted water. This is not a pathway that we have precedent for. So there isn't a charted pathway that can take us into a sure place. The only way that we can deal with this is to come back within, come back in and actually resource and work with the tools that we have in the tool bag that we've been developing and crafting over these previous months and years. Many of us have been on this pathway for a long time. I, for myself, started with Reiki in '93 and went on to study Sakhem and then ultimately in 2000 to find pranic healing. And that really has been my modality of choice right the way through, and then weaving it, of course, with the roses. So weaving the pranic psychotherapy, weaving the pranic healing with the rose codes and the rose consciousness to create a base of energetic anatomy, but with the voice and the pure love codes that come embedded in the roses. So in there not being a charted pathway for us, we have to keep coming back into the heart. We have to keep coming back into this resource within so that we in fact create our own pathway and we come back into this really clear sense of ourselves. And the keywords that keep coming up for me are beauty, truth and love. That this is the inner coding that allows us to navigate and move through these times with grace, with faith, and with a steadfastness that can take us forward. So, what might the roses have to say for us in this particular time? Are you drawn to Rose Card 1? Are you drawn to Rose Card 2? Or are you drawn to Rose Card 3? So, if you're drawn to Rose Card 1, here she is, and she is Rose Ma 1. And I don't think that Rose Ma 1 has come up for us before. And she says, I am wisdom. I hold the inner knowing and the inner resource that can guide you on your path. I am the whispered message deep within that can inspire you and to offer you some clarity and insight as to the next steps on your path. Interestingly, this is a David Austin rose called Wisley 2008. And just this last weekend, I did a talk at Sussex Dowsers down in Chichester. And this was one of the roses that came up as a strong choice amongst the group on at the weekend on Sunday. So what does this rose say? Well, she says, you know, this path of the heart and this path of the weave of the solar plexus in the heart hold the imprint of the wise woman. And this is the counterpart to the masculine quality of a power. So then when we weave love, wisdom and power together, there is a real strength in our journey going forward. So this place of the wise woman, you know, this was traditionally Athena or Minerva, and Athena and Minerva were known to go into battle, but not with weapons, with their inner wise counsel, so that they were resourced from within to offer a pathway forward, to offer an insight into an alternative way of approaching a challenge or a conflict. So this is also the aspect that we would look at in the journey of the goddess as being the crone, the wise woman, the wise counsel. So she's worked her way through maiden and mother to come to this place of owning her own internal resource and internal wisdom. And ultimately what that does is it brings a place of peace within, a place of deep internal resource that offers a path of inspired action, but a peaceful warrior pathway from within. So here she is. She is Rosemar 5, and I am wisdom. So if you chose Rose Card 2, Rose Card 2 is Rose 11. And Rose 11 is one of the original roses that came forward from the Alhambra in Spain at rose time. Many of you know the story, how I came back from this visit in 2010, loaded the images onto the computer and woke one morning with this voice that said, we'd like you to put 11 of us together and work with us. So this rose was one of the ones that came as one of the original 11 roses, and they form a healing chakra grid on the body. And this rose sits on the heart field, and she works within the heart field and the crown. So this is a weave of the two energies. And what she says is that it's the heart work that is the most important and valuable work that we can do, so that when we clear and we release any trauma or any stories that we still hold around our journey this far, what we do when we can release and bring to consciousness those stories, we can release them and they have no power over us. And what it does is it allows the heart field, this golden chalice, this alchemical pot, which is our heart field, to open. And the more, or to open more. So the more we're able to open, the more the alignment with the crown brings us into this place where ever more of the energies that can come down from source energy, from the galactic center can enter us, our higher soul selves, more of our higher soul self can come into embodiment. So we can be the rose. We can be all that we can be in the fact that our heart flame is lit. When our heart flame is lit, we can light the heart flames of others. So if you were drawn to Rose Card 2 today, you know, she's inviting you to really enter into this beautiful, you know, this is she's very pure. She holds a lot of the divine feminine energy, but she has this golden chalice. And she's inviting you to really step into the fullness of who you are through that flame of the heart, and know that that's your resource and your steadiness in these extremely uncertain times. You know, the only sure place that we have is within us. And she invites us. I mean, she's so beautiful as a rose, so perfect in her form. And for those of you who can see this really clearly, there's almost a dove feeling on the top of this rose. And of course, this was also seen in the Christic tradition as being the descent of the dove, of the divine feminine, so of spirit. So, you know, this rose has so much to offer us, and in this wisdom of knowing that the heart work enables more of our higher soul self to be incarnate and present with us, it allows us to be ever more fully alive. So I'm just saying hi to Vicky and Babita and Ashley. Thank you for joining me live today. And if you've chosen Rose Card 3, here she is, and she is Rose Angel 1. And Rose Angel 1 sits on the crown, and she is the jewel in the crown, if you like, of surrender. So she's very much about community. You know, this is one of the few roses that came with buds, and she has her heart field open. You know, she holds this place of surrendering to the flow, being able to be in the flow of your life and know that your friends, your buddies are alongside you in this journey, that we can find ourselves perhaps even in birth family situations that we are not that well seen, or we're holding a different imprint. For those of us that are way showers on this journey, but the resource that we find within our soul tribe and in those that we gather with, whether it's, you know, online or in sacred circle in our communities, you know, these are the places where we can be best mirrored and best resourced to keep going. You know, as I said at the beginning of this particular reading, you know, so many of us are exhausted. You know, we are really having to dig deep now to keep ourselves aligned and being able to navigate these intense energies. And this place of surrendering ever deeper to love. These are pure love codes. You know, they have no other agenda other than to remind us of that place of beauty, of truth, and of staying in that place of the question of what would love do now? What would love whisper now? What would love have me do now? So this is our path, you know, to be the rose, if you like, to be able to hold that highest place within ourselves, to hold ourselves in honor of our deepest truths. So this place of community, so important, and to keep as open as we possibly can to what's unfolding in our lives, and then be able to make choices from that place. So, interesting reading this time, and if we look at this as a composite, as a guide for us in this next phase. So here we are, you know, I am wisdom, trusting that inner voice, trusting the knowing that within the voice of the feminine, when she honors who she truly is and what's coming up for her, there's nowhere else to go. There is only this place of owning our own truth and our own wisdom in the journey. Rose 11, staying to the heart field, keeping to the heart, keeping this flame, this golden flame, alight, which allows the crown to remain open and receptive so that we can bring more of our higher soul self into body, into present moment, and stay rooted and grounded in that process. And Rose Angel 1, resourcing ourselves through community. This is absolutely essential for us. I know for myself here, I'm very good at hermiting. I'm extremely good at hermiting. Too many lifetimes in cloisters, I'm absolutely certain. But you know, this is where the richness is in sharing the pathway, and it's, you know, we are in uncharted territory. You know, this is not a journey that has been done before. There is no map to this. Our hearts, each of our individual hearts, and those heart flames are our torches. This is the light that we shine on the path, and we can only take one step at a time. This is where coming into presence, coming into this place of the now, being present to the now and what's needed in this moment, and that allows us to shine the light from the heart field on our next step. And you know, it is next step and next step and next step. And when we follow the truth, when we follow the truth of what lights up for us and what sits right, what is a knowing within us, then we can only with integrity and authenticity take that next step and trust that this is absolutely, totally and utterly aligned, and that we are in right place, taking right action in the moment. So yeah, these are powerful times for us, and the roses come as powerful guides and way showers for this next piece that allow us, whatever's coming up for us, to actually stay within the heart field. Hi Paige, good to see you. So we have both UK and USA weaving together here in this live reading, and I'm very, very blessed that you're here. So what other news? This evening I've got the second class of the Rose Bagua journey for the group that is taking the Rose Bagua class online and investigating what is my heartfelt expression in the outer world. and I also have a space clearing masterclass here in Cadnam on the 22nd. We've still got some spaces for that. The rose essences I still haven't got on the website, but they will be, and also the beautiful long rose scarves are still on offer for April. So yes, as ever, much love and rosy blessings to you all, and yeah, just keep resourcing in the best way that you possibly can. You know, work into this higher heart chakra, work into this place of the universal heart and the this place of unconditional love that we are really working towards being able to anchor here. And yeah, this is our place. So bless you, and thank you so much for joining me. Till next. Bye for now. Bye-bye.